Welcome to Stadium BS. For more information, check out www.castellonms.com.
Everybody, this is Frankie Castellon, www.castellonms.com. Again, my name is Frankie Castellon. If you're new to the YouTube channel, welcome. If you're listening on a podcast, thank you so much for listening. I am on every single podcast platform known to man, and I wanted to give my information out. I'm a little stuffy right now because I've been sick for the last week. I don't know how I got sick, but I got sick. Anyway, um, let me go over what we have for right now. www.castellonms.com. If you're listening in, CASTELLONMS.com. It has all the references to all my YouTube videos. It has everything that I'm selling, including the kitchen sink. I'm also selling my hair follicles. If you're a rich white man that's in a midlife crisis, contact me. I'm at Frankie Castellon Caps on Instagram. I have a contact info. I have a Support Frankie. I have a Bakari, eBay, Etsy, Poshmark. I even have my own store. Check a look at the merchandise I made. It looks awesome if you can see on the YouTube channel. But anyway, Castellon Motivational Standard, that's my brand. Frankie Castellon Caps, that is my YouTube channel. And Stadium BS is my podcast, if you want to ease the confusion. Speaking of confusion, if you looked at the logo, I generated a Cracker Barrel design having the man next to me, next to the Stadium BS logo. It is pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a snazzy start in honor of the BS that Cracker Barrel did, making a plain logo that gave a bunch of outrage. But that's not what I'm talking about today. What I am talking about is all these new deals that are happening in Major League Baseball when it comes to TV rights. So, from a few months ago, ESPN opted out of their $550 million deal, which broadcasts Sunday Night Baseball, the Home Run Derby, and the Wild Card games. They said they're paying too much money. F you, we're done. So, ESPN, Disney, thought of a bigger plan. And I'm going to tell you what pisses me off about this, okay? So, they had talks again with MLB, and they said, we have this brand new app. It's called ESPN. Yeah, ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We have an app. You pay starting at $29.99 a month. You get everything ESPN. All the channels that was on linear or on cable, if you want to call it. You have extra events. You have WNBA, all the documentaries on demand, ACC, SEC, anything college sports, pretty much. Monday Night Football, Sports Center, everything for $29.99 a month. And they're adding more and more content. They want to go back to being the worldwide leader in sports. So basically throwing all the sports in one app. So all you got to do is pay $29.99 a month, and you get all sports, which is a great idea. Okay? They even have wrestling. They're going to do live event wrestling starting in September with WrestlePalooza. Yeah. So if you want to watch any of the live events wrestling for WWE, guess what? You have to pay $29.99 a month. But that's a whole other story for itself. So they're trying to go back to being the worldwide leader in sports, which leads me to the deal that ESPN MLB are going to do. They are going to license MLB.TV to their platform. Now, if you don't know what MLB.TV is, it basically will put out of market games that you can watch from any location except within the market. So, for example, since I'm in Greenville, South Carolina, I can watch my Yankees play, the Mets play, the Rays play. But if I want to watch the Atlanta Braves, I'm SOL because it's that within the market, which is kind of dumb. But it's been like that for years. And Godfather Manfred, is trying to change that. Good luck to him. So, MLB.TV, they've been around for 23 years, as you can see on the screen. And you can pay $29.99 a month to have all the games out of market. You'll get MLB Network, which I love. I love watching MLB Network because it has the multicast of different games and highlights, etc. They also have the audio, which means you can listen to any game you want. And I do that on the weekends. I'll listen to a couple games and then get pissed off about my team losing. Anyway, so these are the prices that you see here on YouTube. Okay, $29.99 a month for everything. If you want to do just MLB Network and at bat yearly, which is the audio and the play-by-play, it's $49.99 a year. But I pay the monthly, which is $7 a month. The yearly, it's usually around 150. I don't remember the price, 150, 175 for the entire year for the same thing. Right now it's $23 because it's heading to the end of the season. So they're trying to license that, move that over to ESPN for the $29.99 a month, which is great in a business sense because if you're a true sports fan, you have to upgrade to like what $60, $70 if you want the whole shebang with the NFL, Red Zone, NFL Network, and now they want to put MLB.TV into the mix for that same price, or it might be more. I don't know. Um, but if you're a huge sports fan, you love college, NFL, MLB. I don't know if they have licensing for NBA. I think they do NBA games, but hockey, I don't think so. I think they got rid of that, or maybe I don't know. Like I said, my focus is baseball. It's great if you watch multi sports. Me, I don't. I watch only baseball. I've lost interest in the NFL. I lost interest in the NBA. I lost interest in the NHL. Maybe, I'll watch a thing or two. And my daughter's getting into hockey, so let's see how let's see how it goes with that. So, with that being said, they're trying to become the worldwide leader, which I don't mind. I think it's a great deal for someone that is a fanatic. Here's where I'm concerned. You see that $49.99 a year. That's something I would do, but I'm paying $7 a month. So I'm paying a little more, but on a monthly basis. What happens to that? I like my MLB network. I like my at bat. I love my audio. I only want to pay that. Is that going to go to ESPN? Is that included? We'll find out. But if it is, then I'm going to be really, really pissed off because not only that I cannot watch my games without paying a freaking piper, I have to pay, now I'm glad I have an antenna so I can watch like Fox or NBC. So, and they're having deals with those for the next 3 years. I'm like, I know we have Fox games. I know we're going to have probably Sunday Night Baseball on MLB. We're going to have all that, but what are the other deals? You want me to subscribe to FanDuel? You want me to subscribe to Netflix? I'm going to get to Netflix in just a moment. So I predicted this, but I really preferred it to go on Netflix, what they were trying to do. I have a video eons ago about that as their regional sports network solution. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to go national and have all MLB games on one app, pretty much. So you can watch all the games on one app. And it's going to be a lot of money, but with all these TV deals, they're trying to get everything. They're trying to get everything in one by 2028. So my concern is from my perspective is, since I am on the go, I'm an on the go father, worker, podcaster, YouTuber, am I still going to have my simple plan? I don't know. So it gets me aggravated to the point that I have to pay all these subscriptions. That's why I put that thumbnail there. It's utter confusion. You got all these platforms that you can watch baseball on. And I'm going to bet you money. It's happening the same with the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. It's happening in all sports because of contract agreements, money, advertising revenue from a business sense to make more money. We are in a capitalist nation, of course. But who gets screwed over? The fans. The fans are the ones that get screwed over all the time. And you have to access all these freaking things. So MLB.TV, all right? You got the ESPN. You got NBC. You got now the World Baseball Classic in Japan. Great. They're getting it on Netflix. It's going to be awesome for next year's World Baseball Classic. Where the hell is it going to be for here in the States? I don't know. I would like to watch it. Um, Sunday Night Baseball is going to be on NBC now, maybe on Peacock. They're putting on their platform. So let me get this straight. I'm going to Google search this. How many streaming services are there to watch sports? Let's see. And it's going to go to AI. There's a fixed number. All right, so let's see. Let's go through the list. ESPN Plus, which is going to be merged into the ESPN app. MLB.TV, NBA League Pass, NFL Game Pass, Dawson, F1 TV, UFC 5 Pass. You got, let's see, it's good. I'm gonna look at look. Look at this. Fubo, Hulu Live TV, YouTube TV, Direct TV Stream, Sling TV, ESPN Unlimited, which that's the new ESPN app. Apple TV if you want the Friday Night MLB games. Amazon Prime Video, Peacock, Dawson, which I don't use it because I'm not in the boxing or MMA. I'm like, you talk about insanity. I'm like, Pluto and antenna, yeah, I will love that. But eventually, and I would watch Cord Cutting News, the antenna might be going away or upgrading. You probably have to pay a premium just to get a new antenna or something of that nature. That's in a few years, probably in 2029. So you're paying for pretty much everything. You know, it's ridiculous. Okay? At this rate of going, it was an evolutionary tale. I hate to say it that way, but come on. You know, we're getting screwed over royally. Okay? We're getting screwed over, and they're just trying to find any way to make a profit and then max out on their revenue sharing. Okay? This has been going on for far too long. Now, here's the good news. Okay? I'm going to go back to my website and I'm going to show you something because I'm a person that's on the go. So I'm going to click on my Instagram. Doot. All right. There's my profile. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my posts. Okay, let's see. Which one do I like that I want to connect to? By the way, take a look at all my posts online, mainly Instagram. I'm trying to find a post. You know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to search MLB. Okay? If you're watching on the YouTube channel. So let's go to MLB on Fox. Okay? I could watch highlights there and little funny things there. Okay? History lessons. Because guess what? It's on the go. It gets to the point. Everything gets to the point. And that's something that we all have on social media. And that's the way we view news, we view highlights, we view what is the it thing today. Okay? That's the way we're gonna have to go. And that makes probably the most ad revenue in addition to YouTube. YouTube has highlights. Let's go to YouTube real quick. We're gonna go to youtube.com. And while we're waiting, I don't know what's wrong with my internet. While we're waiting, we can do highlights. Highlights galore. So MLB. Just MLB itself. You can go look at highlights of every single game. They all have it. They have it for free. That's pretty much the way to go, unfortunately. Okay? It sucks. It really does suck. Because Jesus Christ. You can't even be passionate about sports anymore. You cannot. For the love of God, it is utter insanity that I cannot sit down and watch a game without paying an arm and a leg. Now, I'm a cheap SOB. I admit that, okay? You see my hats. I had a haircut done. That's why I'm not wearing a hat right now. And I feel good with my hair, okay? But I either get hats as gifts. I pay a very, very low price, probably under $25, or even maybe less. I would not pay $50 for an on-field hat. I refuse. Um, I have a couple of valuable hats to me. The South Africa and the Puerto Rico blue hat. Those are very valuable to me because they represent not only my roots but also represent things in my life. So, but I pay at a heavy, heavy discount. I refuse to pay full price. That's one thing. The other part is paying a discount to go to the games. I pay dirt cheap. I go to minor league games, either free or a couple of dollars. I make sure that I find a good bargain just so I can enjoy my entertainment because it's well deserved. I work my butt off. I pay the majority of the bills. I make sure that my family has food to eat. Okay? So uh, it's been a it's ridiculous. It's just been utter ridiculous, and I'm losing my mind. I really am. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I understand the business side of it, but you're paying an arm and a leg. You are. And as profitable as these leagues are, I'm like, you're looking at the top four sports. And I'd rather just go to alternatives. I remember when I did my blog, SpongeBob Schnook Sports. It's no longer there, but the blog is still there. I reactivated it for a video I did in 2012 when I went to Steinbrenner Field. Um, Basically, I introduced the UFL, not the UFL that you have today, but it was a different reiteration of the UFL. I think it was either '09 or '10. And I was like, you know what? I'm on board. I don't want to deal with the NFL anymore. I hated dealing with the Super Bowl. I worked the Super Bowl in '09 in Tampa, and oh god, that was a freaking nightmare, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Drunk fans enjoying themselves after their celebration. Couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand having a $20 beer as well. I'm like, I didn't drink, but you can imagine the prices, and food itself was probably like $30 for just a hot dog and some fries. Anyway, it's ridiculous. It's gotten skyrocketed prices. I was done with it. I was on board with the new league, which did not last long, maybe a year. I remember that UFL. I'm like, I think in my region it was the Florida Tuskers. I don't remember the other names of it. Maybe the Sentinel, New York Sentinel. I don't know. But anyway, I was on board for that alternative because of the same exact reason of this BS. Yes, this BS of watching your favorite team, watching your favorite sport. It's gotten so expensive. And mind you, I said this 15 years ago. I wish I had the footage, but I don't. We didn't have cloud storage back then. We had hard drives. I have a hard drive with all this. I'm not going to go through it just to find this archive. You crazy. Plus, I look better in age. But anyway, that's a whole other story for another day. So, I don't know. I know it's not a stadium deal or stadium BS topic, but it is a BS topic revolving around stadiums because, and I'm going to explain the reason why. This is one of the most revenue generating platforms to get money. I know I'm jumbling up my words, but it helps fund the stadium from a private sense, even though they need public funds, probably more public funds than private subsidies. It makes no sense. We're paying for it either way. And that's why I call Stadium BS. I hate it with a passion. This is why I started this podcast. This is why I wanted to vent out my frustration. I hate it with a fucking passion. It makes me, it makes my blood boil. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, which I'll probably discuss next week. After this show is done, I'll probably upload sometime this evening. Um, the there's Today is the 28th, and I'm gonna be heading over to Mayberry Park, which is the Little League field that has been transformed. It was originally a regular ballpark for black players only. I did a video about it in my Greenville Drive Reel. Meadowbrook Park was the whites only ballpark, and then Mayberry Park was the blacks only park, which got revitalized, and Meadowbrook Park became Unity Park, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful park to go to. A lot of festivities. It is becoming the symbol of Greenville, South Carolina. And I love Greenville, South Carolina. And I want to be a part of this uh, ribbon cutting because the Greenville Drive contributes so much to the city without anything in return. Believe it or not, okay? Stadium, privately funded, contributes massively to not only the city of Greenville, but to Greenville County itself. I'm like, they have even the safety patrol sponsorship with the elementary schools. Okay, it's awesome. It's this is why I like living here, is it has such a community sense. I know other metropolis has a community sense too. I believe it with my whole heart, but here you really do feel it. Number one, number two, other ownerships in baseball, they're looking for something in return. This ownership does not, and that's a beautiful thing. I will most likely cover that next week. I will do some reels. Check out my Instagram, my TikTok. I even have a news break page that has some of my news videos. So check them all out. My brand, Castellan Motivational Standard. This is my brand. That's why it's castellanms.com. Check it out. Help a brother out. It's been a long run on this. I've been doing this for many years. I have tried every way in order to get my brand out there. You even can hear a story about me of what I'm trying to do to get myself a cap company, um, building up this podcast, building up this YouTube channel, building up my brand itself. These are awesome resources that I would advise you to watch, listen, read everywhere you can find it. It's right here. Okay. It is very interesting. Comment, debate, subscribe. You don't have to put a dime in. You could comment, subscribe. You can give a review on your favorite podcast platform. It does not matter as long as you can help me out the best of your ability. But you can't help me out. Support Frankie. Check out the merch. Get the merch, okay? You can contact me if you want to bargain with something, okay? At Frankie Castellon Caps. You see it on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. It's simple, play forward. All right? You can even scan the QR code. Anyway, for this episode of Stadium BS, I'm Frankie. Take a look at everything I have. Take a look at my previous episodes of what I got pissed off about. I'm still trying to get my niche. It's going to get better in due time. I did videos on expansion, and I did a video on John Fisher. Take a look at them, like, subscribe, review on your favorite podcast, and I'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you for watching on YouTube and thank you for listening on your favorite podcast platform.